What's up? This is Joe from DED. You're watching the Network 317 podcast. Cool, that's cool.
I worked at Spencer's, like when the movie first came out, they had them in the windows, and I was like, "Yo, let me get those," and they were like, "Yeah, sure, we're just gonna throw them away." I was like, "Oh no, you're not."
That's a good come up. That's sick.
Makes perfect background for all the bullshit.
Yeah, love it. I love it.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to start. Honestly, it's been like a couple years since last time in New York, so it's like so much shit has happened. You went overseas, and you did the whole UK thing. How did that go?
It was amazing. The last one we did, we just went with Wage War, and it was sick. It was it was cold. It was wintertime. It's pretty rough there with you don't get too much sun, for that part of it. But the shows were awesome. We had just such a good time. So yeah, it was sick.
Did Download Festival too?
Download. Oh, so that was the first time we went over there. We went over there and we did Download. We did a bunch of the festivals there. And, that was amazing. Yeah, Download was always kind of a dream for me. What's that?
All those people that were there just fucking.
Yeah, it was wild. I mean, it's not too different from the festival here. Just the UK. So it's raining a lot more, that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's see, man. I got so many built up.
Okay.
I just don't know where to start. There's a lot going on right now. What's about COVID? I mean, I'm pretty sure you've been asked a bunch of times. How's it going during isolation and all that stuff? I'm wondering more about how has it affected you guys in your writing process? If you have been creating new shit and stuff like that, how has it affected you being? You said you're in New York.
Right.
And are the other guys are they in Arizona and shit, or are they just
Yeah.
How does that are you pulling a online thing?
Well, yeah. Well, luckily technology is pretty awesome nowadays. So we've been making just acoustic things and stuff for radio and for different things like that. But we've still been writing. I know the dudes have been writing in studios in various ways. And then I've just been here, just acoustics and stuff like that. But we're working on getting a little setup here, a little Logic setup or something like that. I know Marie writing a bunch too, so we're both talking about trying to do that. But really just kind of just writing a lot and on acoustic, and I just record a lot of stuff in my voice memo thing on my phone, just to get ideas down. And I've always done that, ever since it was existed. So I've just been doing a lot of that, just a lot of voice memoing, and there wasn't really a lot of writing coming out of me for a long time. Just recently starts to surge, and I've been writing a lot in the last couple of weeks. So it's cool. It's just something that kind of happens. I try to force it,
Right. You gotta let that creative juice just kind of flow out, and then be like, okay, it sounds decent. I'm gonna fuck with it.
Yeah, exactly. Or sometimes you think it's really cool, and then you hear it the next. I was just excited, because it's such a good when you're writing and creating something like that. You get such a fun feeling in your soul kind of thing. It's just you feel good, and so you just get excited just to make something, especially when you haven't in a long time. And so it's felt nice though to kind of have that creative juice happening. It's really good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I hit up Dead Nation real quick and was like, hey, you guys got any questions? Let me know. I'll try to ask them as many as possible or whatever. There was some I was already going to ask.
Okay.
I know a couple of people were saying to tell you thank you for the kind words that you've been posting, especially during this time where we're all isolated and all that shit. They love seeing the post of positivity and kind of keeping their moods up, while we're all stuck in the bullshit right now. So
yeah, that's good. I'm happy that because I think about that sometimes, and Dead's a real heavy kind of heavy kind of, there's a lot of kind of negative vibe to the music and stuff like that. But, and I can get into that vibe, but just right now, it just doesn't feel correct as a person to just pushing that kind of, that aggressiveness out into the world. It feels right now, it's we need to kind of be healing as a member of the human race, it feels like my job is to spread light, because I know I need it when I see it from other people, and so I try to give it back, and then we all do it together. It's a unity thing,
Right.
So.
It's like read the room. In this case, read the world. Like the world's in shit. So do we want to make it more shit, or do we want to put a little bit of happiness out there?
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly.
All right. So I got some questions. Album 2. Can you talk Can you talk much about it, or if I can ask the question, you could say no, I can't comment or something like that. Is that cool?
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So some people are wanting to know how many tracks are possibly going to be on it.
Possibly between 10 and 12. Possibly.
Okay. Is there any plans to drop Watch and Wade as a single?
Oh, nice. That's funny. I had a friend hit me up about that the other day. That actually, not to break anyone's heart if they loved it, that one didn't end up getting recorded. There's a demo version of it that isn't too bad, actually. And so I guess if we ever did like a demos, B-sides and demos things, I think that would definitely be on there, but it didn't album. But you never know. Maybe it will the next one, or maybe we'll do a release of demos and B-side.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah. I still love that song. I'm a little bummed to make it, honestly.
Yeah, I was actually upset because I saw like a bunch of people at other shows prior to this year recording you guys play it at various venues and stuff like that, and then we were at Epicenter and you guys didn't play anything new, and I was like, oh man. So I got like I should have went to one of the other ones.
Epicenter was awesome. That was such a killer festival, killer day, killer show. So I love it. Yeah.
That was good until it started raining and hurricaning or tornadoing.
Yeah.
Like I think it was day 2 or something like that.
Okay.
And we ended up leaving that at nighttime at day 2 because we were like, they canceled Tool, like they canceled all these other after Black Tool Society and stuff like that. So we were like, well, we came to see Tool and other stuff, but I mean, if that's canceled, we didn't want to wait to hear if they were going to cancel the next day too or not. So we just bounced out. We had like a long drive anyway, so we were like, fuck it, we're out.
And that's the thing with the outdoors, with the weather. You're just kind of in God. Yes, with that. We must have played the day before that. I don't remember when we were there. I think Born headlined our night.
Yeah, that was night 1.
Night 1. So we must have played night 1. We got out of there before all that. So we had like the first night. Like I remember, it was awesome. We went and hung out. Like we were with Jose and Grant Random, those guys, and we went and just watched Korn and just had like such a fun. And it was really good. Like after we played, and it was smooth that night. It was like cool out. And,
that day was perfect. It was perfect. Like heat is perfect.
Yeah.
Out. You know what I mean? Like shit was on it.
Yeah.
And then like the next day, we're like, all right, fuck yeah, we're in there with Motionless in White, like pitting it up. And then right after they got off stage, like this big sign on the screens was like, get back to your campsites. There's a tornado coming, and we were like, what the fuck? And man, that shit hit hard, bro. Like there's dark ass clouds, and just like some of the equipment on the festival grounds was flipped over and thrown like 20 feet. I was like, damn.
Damn. Well, I'm glad you got out of there safely, man. That's great.
Yeah, me too. We got soaked, but I don't think it really touched, but that wind was fucking killer, man. That shit was like, 70-mile-an-hour winds and shit. We were like, what the fuck?
You don't want to be out. So yeah. You want to be,
what the fuck's going on?
wow, dude.
Do you have a release date for album 2?
Not for like the collective whole thing. It's still being worked out. It's such a weird time right now, man. And I've had to answer that question so many times, but it's just a weird time. So we just released Parasite 2 days ago.
No, that was yesterday.
Oh, it was yesterday. See,
on that, like once that shit dropped, I listened to that shit like 3 times in a row.
Thank you, man. So we released that one, and then we're gonna be. I know we have plans to release more songs, and then I'm pushing personally really hard to release the album, and we just gotta like figure it out with label and management and everybody, and getting it to be the correct way, because we spent a lot of time on it, we spent a lot of money on it. There's just so many things that go into it, you know what I'm saying, and you really want to like give it its best chance, especially a band that's like kind of like still we're obviously still trying to grow and push to that next level, and so you want to just want to try to create the perfect storm, I guess is what you want to call it. And hard to do that, right now with touring, without knowing when, just when anything's going to open back up. So we are going to release music though. And I hope that it ends up being the full album later.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so that's another thing I was going to ask about. Like, do you have any touring plans set yet? Or is it kind of like waiting until after all this shit blows over to kind of start setting little times and dates in different areas and all that shit? Because some of this are allowing, concerts and shit, but not all of them. So I didn't know if you had anything going in that area.
Right. And I see that. And I have mixed feelings on it, because it's cool, right? Like I'm happy for have shows and stuff, but like I don't want it to open up too soon and to revert things. And then if those concerts end up getting correlated with more cases, then it sets everybody back, because then they're like, well, look what happened here.
Yeah.
So I'd rather us all kind of unify really and like all hold off until it's time, till we all go back out, but I know that's hard to organize,
But it's also like the people, they're like, I just want loud music blasting in my fucking ears by my favorite band, and that's all I give a shit about. I don't care about getting sick. And it's like, yeah, you don't, but the other 500 to 2,000 people that go might.
Absolutely. And I want it too, man. But you know what? Like, I'm a fucking adult, and if I, you know what I mean? And what are these other people? Like, you guys are supposed to be adults and take care of yourself and your kids, families, and I don't know, man. And if it's not about you, then do it for somebody else that doesn't want to get sick. Because if you get it and you give it to somebody else, like, it's just weird selfishness happening. I get it, but we do have plans for touring. That In This Moment Blackfoot Brides tour is still supposed to happen next year, I believe, but I'm waiting to see if we can announce it yet, when it's going to happen or not. So where, if when we can announce it. I can't say anything about it, but we're supposed to do it.
Well, it's one of those things. It's like you already canceled it one time. Do you want to announce it and then wait until like a month ahead and then just cancel it again because shit got fucked up and during that time period? So it's understandable. I don't think anybody's really too mad about that fact. They were just kind of wondering like, so do they have plans or not? And I'm like, I'm sure every band has plans to tour once this is all over with, but I don't know anything more than that. I'm not them. You know what I mean?
You can't set anything in stone. That's what I mean. And maybe it will be that. Maybe it will at a certain point. It will be the states that are unaffected, and everybody will tour those states. Possibly. Or less. Maybe that'll be like I don't have a crystal ball to know. You know what I mean? It's just like I just know that I don't want to get sick. I don't want to get other people sick, and I don't want to slow the process down. I want to fix everything. I want everything to get fixed so we can go back. And that's my.
Here's an idea. Maybe we could get you a DeLorean. We'll have like the Dead Nation get you a DeLorean. We'll have you go to the future and then come back and tell us like what's up.
Perfect. I would love to do that.
Have you seen any of the other bandmates during the whole quarantine thing?
Yeah, we've seen each other. We've done like FaceTime and Skype. We've done some interviews as a group before, and there's a lot of keeping in touch, but we spent probably 4 years together inseparably all the time. You know what I mean? So it's okay. We can have a little time off,
So it's time to take a break, guys. Like, I love you all.
Yeah.
I'll see you soon.
Yeah, it's kind of welcome in a way. Not that we didn't like each other, but it's like, I don't know. You hear what I'm saying. We were touring and we were doing it really
like a good couple of years straight. Like you guys have any breaks like from fucking January to December is just straight bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
So like, and you guys, when I first interviewed you guys were in the fucking that little ass van,
right?
With 5 of you, 6 of you guys, something like that. Just fucking roughing it like old school style, very punk rock.
Yeah, very punk rock. Sometimes 8 of us, I think, man, and it was wild. It's cool. It's good. I'm not above that if we have to do it. When we come back out too. I mean, whatever. It's good.
Yeah. You're like, oh well, fuck it. I'll go punk rock again for another 2 years. I don't need a massive RV. I don't give a shit.
It's whatever happens, man. It's we're always just trying to make it work, and you know, it's all good.
Right. All right, let's talk the new singles. So you did Eyes on Shut, Mannequin Idol, Parasite.
Right.
What's the feedback from the fans on, you know, those so far?
Well, it seems like everybody digs everything. You know, yeah, I haven't really heard negative things. I did hear some people, you know, say, you know, it's so funny how you hear the negative stuff almost more than the positive stuff a little bit. But you know, it's fine because you know it's ours and we're proud of it. But you know, I heard some different things, but mostly positive. Mostly everybody amped on it, and then more so Parasite, the newest one we put out, seems to be, to me, the most people have been excited about the songs. I'm sure it's a heavier song, so maybe that's why, you know. But
Yeah,
I thought they were all pretty heavy, in my opinion. But you know, I don't know.
I mean, I listened to all of them, all three of them, and I've listened to them a bunch of times. I think we did the fan video for Mannequin Idol. Love that track. But for me, Parasite, that song is like heavier, yes, but it has that certain flow that makes it where it's heavy, but it has that groove to it. You know what I'm saying? It has that feel where you're just kind of like, I can picture myself fucking shit up. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited to play that one live for sure.
Oh yes, I want to hear that shit.
Yeah, thank you.
What's the background story on Parasite?
Parasite, like as far as like lyrically or like how we made it, or
Yeah, lyrically, how you made it. Like, I'm kind of wanting to know the story of how it was created.
Yeah. Yeah, it it was one of the earlier songs we did. We did the album with Kevin Churko in Vegas at the Hideout, and I mean, just when I heard the music, because the guys created the music, and then I got to hear it, you know, and I absolutely just loved it. You know, I loved that synth over it. It kind of made me think of like Static X or Rammstein or something like that, you know, and it kind of just, it made me feel real dark and sick, honestly. You know, the music that I really like to jump into the environment of the music and kind of cater the lyrics to how it makes me feel. And I was just writing some lyrics down for it, and nothing intentionally. And by the time it was done, I had written when I tried to realize what the song was about, which is what I always have to do. It's about, I think the song is kind of about like illness, like sickness, like anxiety or depression or addiction or something like that, that's inside of a person. And it was like me kind of taking the role of like an illness or like a sickness and somebody tormenting the person, you know, and like kind of like giving it face, like a villain. And it was me taking on that role. And I just got real fucked up with it, you know. Like when you I don't know if the lyrics are posted, but when you read them, I think it is real kind of dark and sinister, you know. And that was, you know, it's cool, man. It was something that just came out. The music felt real dark and gross, and I wanted to write lyrics that kind of went with that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Any plans for new videos or anything?
Yeah. New video coming out. I don't even know yet, but yeah, we're working on a new video and more music and more videos and all that stuff. Like just trying to release stuff as much as we can.
Oh yeah, I know the nation is like impatient as a motherfucker right now. They're like, come on, need more. Like Parasite drops, you know, this morning at 12 o'clock, and they're like, all right, where's the next one? It's like, okay.
Yeah. I know how that goes. I get it too, man. I mean,
I'm thinking like back in the day, like the old shit, like when Circus Magazine and Hit Parader and shit like that, where you didn't have social media as much or at all, really. Like you had to wait like a fucking year and a half, 2 years, 3 years for the next album to come out. You know what I mean? Like this new single's not going to be played for another 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm patient as fuck, but I grew up in the fucking 90s. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. No, I feel you. It's a different time though, and I recognize that. I consume, you know, myself like currently how people can. So I'm with it. You know, I get it, and but I am a big fan of getting songs like maybe every month or every couple of weeks from a band. You know, sometimes I think that's really cool. You know,
right.
If that's what we got to do for right now, that's what we're gonna do. But like I said, I'm pushing to get the album done and get it out. But you know, I gotta work with the team on it.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to go through like all these steps.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I understand. I get it. It's what it is. You know what I mean? That's the way. So, do you get tired of like, do you listen to the songs over and over again? Like, even like after you record your vocals, do you go back and listen to it and like, all right, that part's kind of messed up. I'm gonna do it again, and then you listen to it again and again and again.
Yeah, and that was an advantage to me personally that we had this time, because we would go out to Vegas for like a month or two, and then we go on tour, and then we go back to the studio, and we go on tour. And so it gave me a lot of time for retrospect and a lot of time to be critical of myself, my own takes, as well as, you know, the other guys did the same thing. And so, you know, it really, to me, it was really cool because I got to really refine things. Like, I got to change that, you know, and I got to do that a lot. And I've been listening to the songs now for a long time, and I'm not sick of them yet. So that's a really good thing, in my opinion, for me, you know.
Yeah, there you go. You were like, I've been listening to this shit for like 2.5 years. Actually, since before the first album was done, I've still been listening to it, and you know, they're good. So yeah, that's awesome.
I went back and listened to the first album. I haven't listened to it in a long time. I went back and listened to that, and I was so proud of that too. So it was cool.
Yeah, honestly, like, man, Misanthrope, that album is like, how do I explain it? Like, I'll still listen to it, and I still won't get tired of it. I believe I listened to it for like 2 years straight anyway. Like, that shit never left. Like, it was either on my phone or it was in my car. Like, didn't care what song was playing. If it was halfway through, just keep going, you know? And to me, that album was like one of the best albums I've heard in like a good 10 years, like easily. You know what I mean? So it's like, when you take time to actually do it and you think it sounds like that, then yeah, that's when it's a close to time to be released. You know what I mean? It's not like, all right, let's go. Like, no, we're gonna let this shit simmer a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a great album, and I want to hear more from the new shit. Parasite, like, that did, honestly, I'm gonna say something. Your voice sounds way different in Parasite than it does in like Mannequin Idol and Eyes Sewn Shut. And I don't know what it is that you did, but like, there's certain parts you could tell, yeah, that's you. But there's some other parts like the verses and stuff, you're like, the fuck? Like, it doesn't really sound like you.
I tried something different. I tried to do something different because, you know, getting real into it. I just didn't want to just do straight up just my, like, you know, scream, 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 scream in the whole verse. So I wanted to try some different kind of techniques. And honestly, I was kind of trying to do like a little bit more of like a Mike Patton type of like growl almost. You know how he does, like Mike Patton does like Faith No More. He does something like that. And then like a little bit of Lamb of God kind of. And I was trying to kind of like merge the two together and just find some weird kind of growly thing instead of just screaming. Right. So I kind of landed on that voice, and it just felt very, you know, almost like a monster. Like some villain, and that's what I sound like some sort of villain. And so that's kind of how I landed on that voice, and it was something I'd never done, and I really like to try to do different voices, and I kind of, you know, I wanted to just make it diverse, and then it kind of goes into more of like the FMFY style, kind of like talking verse, like rappy talky thing, and then like a big chorus or whatever. So you know.
Yeah, I was like, is that him? I mean, yeah, but that sounds fucking phenomenal, man. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, okay, I'll fuck with this a little bit. All right.
Thanks. Is it grown now it feels normal?
Yeah.
Good.
What so far, like, you've seen a lot of bands been on tour within this moment for a while, but you guys have also been to like festivals and shit like that where there's a lot of other bands there. So who's your favorite band you've met or had the opportunity to hang out with or whatever?
Mm-hmm. Well, that last run we just did, it was with the Wage War guys, and they were amazing. We shared a bus together in Europe, and they are amazing live, and they're such great dudes. And so that's off the top of my head. I mean, you know, I'm trying to think, man. I mean, I love the Beartooth guys. They've become good friends. We always watch Gojira whenever we're on a festival with them, you know, and they're definitely the band that none of us will miss. I've never really, I don't know if I've met them. You know, maybe we ran into each other and said hello, but, you know, and yeah, of course, I love watching like Korn if we're on a festival with them, or, you know, I caught Meshuggah in France. That was a pretty amazing show. there's a lot of cool, you run into a lot of people, all that.
I know Randall was taking pictures of you back in the day when you had
Yeah.
your contacts in, and he was all up in your grill. So I'm like, that's pretty fucking cool. Like,
yeah, it was cool because that was earlier on too, and so that was a really fun thing. He was on his bus at Chicago Air, and he just kind of peeked his head out the window. He's like, "Hey, can I come take some pictures of you?" And I was just like, "Sure, man." And so he came, and we kicked it. We picked it for a little while, and he took some photos of me, and then hung out for the day, and then they shredded it up right after that, and it was good. That was fun.
All right, brother. I think that's it. It's been fucking awesome talking.